Hallo, mein Name ist Lara und ich bin 9 Jahre alt und ich komme aus Berlin. Aus meiner Sicht ist eine Oper ein riesiger kreisförmiger Saal. Außen sind ganz viele Stühle und in der Mitte ist eine Bühne. Auf der Bühne sind Sänger oder Sängerinnen, manchmal sind sie auch alleine. Dann gibt es immer noch ein Orchester mit einem Dirigent. Sind ganz viele Musikinstrumente, die zusammenspielen, zum Beispiel Blas- oder Schlag- oder Zupfinstrumente. Und ein Dirigent ist der das Kommando über dieses Orchester hat. Eine Oper, die für Kinder sehr geeignet ist die Zauberflöte.
That was the voice of 9-year-old Lara from Berlin, Germany. Thank you, Lara, so much for your wonderful explanation about what opera is, and for your introduction to episode 2 of Operina, Mozart's Die Zauberflöte.
Operina.
Operina? What's Operina?
Operina. O que é Operina?
Operina, che cos'è Operina?
Operina? Che è Operina?
Operina, an opera podcast for kids with Jessica Cambio.
Welcome back to Operina listeners worldwide. I'm Jessica Cambio, your Operina host and guide through the magical world of opera. Speaking of magical, today we'll hear about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's Die Zauberflöte, the magic flute. When we asked some of our friends what they thought a magical flute did, we got some pretty incredible responses. Let's have a listen.
I think that the magical flute gives out not normal tunes, like tunes that the normal flute cannot do.
I don't know. Magic trick. It shoots bow and arrow musical notes, and then it would throw musical note ninja stars. The good guys, if you use a magical flute on them, get the more superpowers!
Eine Zauberflöte ist eine Fantasieflöte und man kann sich aussuchen, wie sie klingt.
What does the magic flute do again? Oh no. Do you? A whistling. Abracadabra, dun 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 dun. Can we do Papageno?
I think when you play it, everything dirty becomes clean. So like the air becomes clean, and then all the animals come over, and then you can feed them, and all the animals become your pets, and maybe the magic flute can stop global pollution.
Wow, those were some really creative responses. Thank you again to my special guests for their latest submissions. I can't wait to hear your responses again next time. If you'd like to be a featured guest on the Operina podcast, you can send your submissions too, in any language, to operinapodcast@gmail.com. In episode 3 of Operina, we'll talk about Giuseppe Verdi's Falstaff, a story based on William Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor and Henry IV. Sir John Falstaff is a knight with a big fat belly. After hiding in a laundry basket, he gets thrown out the window and into the river. If this makes you curious, don't forget to tune in next time for episode 3 of Operina. At the end of today's magical episode, there will be another magical quiz. So be sure to listen very carefully. Here we go. Los geht's! Once upon a time, in a magical land between the sun and the moon, 3 blue ladies in the service of the Queen of the Night saved the dashing young Prince Tamino from a giant serpent. When the ladies leave to tell the queen what happened, the silly green bird catcher Papageno appears and proudly tells Tamino it was he who killed the monster. The ladies return and give Tamino a picture of the queen's daughter Pamina, a beautiful young girl who has been enslaved by the evil Zarastro. Tamino immediately falls in love with her. Suddenly, the queen appears in a boom of thunder, telling Tamino her daughter is lost and commands him to rescue her. The three ladies give Tamino a magical flute and silver bells to Papageno and introduce them to three young golden spirits to help them safely on their journey. Zarastro's slave, the evil bad guy Monostatos, tries to swoon and kiss Pamina but is frightened away by Papageno. The birdcatcher tells the young girl that Tamino loves her and he is on his way right now to save her from the evil bad guys. Led by the three spirits to the temple of Zarastro, Tamino learns from a trusty priest that it is actually the queen who is evil, not Zarastro. Tamino thinks about Pamina and charms all the wild animals with his magical flute, but then rushes off to follow the sound of Papageno's magical bells. Monostatos and his men suddenly chase Papageno and Pamina during their escape, but are left helpless when Papageno plays his magical bells. Suddenly, Zarastro enters and punishes his slave, promising Pamina that he will set her free. Pamina catches a glimpse of the very handsome Tamino being led into the temple with Papageno. Zarastro decides that Tamino will be initiated into his club. Monostatos again tries to kiss the sleeping Pamina, but is surprised by the sudden appearance of the evil Queen of the Night. She gives her daughter a dagger and orders her to murder Zarastro. Zarastro then finds the very sad Pamina and tries to console her, explaining he does not want revenge. Tamino and Papageno are told by another priest that they must remain silent. They are absolutely not allowed to talk or eat. But Papageno immediately breaks this vow when he takes a glass of water from a very flirtatious old lady. When he asks the old lady her name, she vanishes. The three spirits then reappear to guide Tamino through the rest of his journey and tell Papageno to be very, very quiet. Tamino remains silent even when Pamina appears. Misunderstanding his silent vow for coldness, however, she is left heartbroken. Tamino only has 2 more trials to go to complete his initiation into Zarastro's club. Papageno gives up on entering the Brotherhood and longs for a wife instead. He eventually settles for the old lady. When he promises to be faithful to her, she turns into the beautiful young Papagena. Pamina and Tamino are reunited, but they must face the elements of water and fire together, even though they are protected by the magical flute. Papageno is so sad and tries to hang himself on a tree. But he's saved by the 3 spirits, who remind him that if he uses his magic bells, he will find true happiness. When he plays the bells, Papagena reappears, and the 2 start making family plans of little baby birds to come. The queen of the night, her 3 ladies, and Monostatos attack the temple but are defeated and banished. And just like that, the bad guys are defeated. Zarastro then blesses Pamina and Tamino, and all the people join in hailing the triumph of courage, virtue, love, and wisdom. And the good guys win. The end. Well, it's safe to say that Die Zauberflöte is a little tricky. But were you paying attention? It's time for our magical quiz. Okay, are you ready? Number 1. What is the name of the Queen of the Night's daughter? That's right. Her name is Pamina. What is the real name of the old lady who eventually becomes Papageno's girlfriend? That's right. It's Papagena. How many spirit guides help Tamino on his journey? That's right, 3 spirit guides, and there are 3 blue ladies. Who wins and who remains defeated at the end of the opera? That's right, the bad guys are defeated and love, courage, wisdom, and virtue are the winners. Okay, last chance. Who wrote the opera Die Zauberflöte, also known as the Magic Flute? That's right, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Bravo! And that's it for today. Thank you for joining in Operina Episode 2, Die Zauberflöte. Before we go, I would like to say thank you or Dankeschön. Vielen Dank. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.
Kann von Strafe sagen, denn seine Sprache ist dahin. Ich kann nichts tun, als dich beklagen, weil ich zu schwach zu helfen bin. Ich kann nichts tun, als dich beklagen, weil ich zu schwach zu helfen bin. Weil ich zu schwach zu helfen bin, weil ich zu schwach zu helfen bin. Die Königin begnadet dich, erlöst dich so geh durch mich. Und plaudert Papageno wieder. Die Potre, lüge nur nicht wieder. Ich lügen immer mehr, nein. Dies Schloss soll deine Warnung sein. Dies Schloss soll meine Warnung sein. Soll meine Warnung sein. Bekämen doch die Lüge alle ein solches Schloss vor dem Mund. Statt alles Verleumd und Verleumd. Es würde Lied und Bruder und statt alles Verleumd und Verleumd. Es würde Lied und Bruder und Nimm dies Geschehen der schönen Frauenzimmer. Darf ich? So empfehl ich mich.
Dich empfehlen kannst du immer, doch bestimmt die Fürstin dich, mit dem Prinzen wohl verweilen, nach Sarastros zu heilen.
Nein, dafür bedank ich mich. Von euch selbst hörte ich, dass er wie ein Tigertier sich erließ, alle Gnaden, wie Sarastros setzte mich den Hunden für.
Die Schätze bist auch ihn allein, dafür sollst du sein Diener sein.
Dass doch der Prinz beim Teufel wäre, mein Leben ist mir lieb, am Ende schleicht bei meiner Ehre er von mir wie ein Dieb.
Wir nehmen dies klein und es ist dein.
Ei, was mag da drinnen sein?
Deinen hörst du Glöckchentöne.
Werd ich sie auch wohl spielen können?
Aber das gewiss, ja, gewiss.
Glöckchen,
Zauberflöte,
sind zu unseren Schutz verwecken. Schöne Damen, saget an, wo man die Burg wohl finden kann. Wo man die Burg wohl finden kann, wo man die Burg wohl finden kann.